Is that good?
Yep.
Okay.
Action.
So this is the art project. I did the art project for during our November FAME training lesson, but I just wanted to do a separate art project just so everybody could see and not have to go through the entire video of the FAME lesson in order to do it. So it's a fairly simple art project for the kids. What I've done is I've put together primary colors in these squeeze bottles, and they have wheat paste in them already. So the formula was 1.5 cups of tempura, and it had wheat paste, and it also had some dishwashing detergent, and I did some fudging of it and basically just tried to get the right consistency. And so these should be in your in the wagons. You shouldn't have a problem with these. They are not nearly as messy as the food dye, so that's good. I will leave some tape in there so you can tape the tops. These are the bottles that didn't have the lids that closed on their own, so sorry about that. These are the bottles that I had already purchased. So basically what you're going to do, there'll be 2 sets of these bottles for each wagon. And so you and maybe the teacher can go around and give each child, it's basically about a silver dollar size. See, probably about that much, maybe a little bit more of the paint. And it's going to be thicker and have texture, like a grainy texture to it, that's different than normal tempera paint. So if you make it in a circle like that, you're going to make it look like they'll be in a triangle as close as you can get. And then you're going to give each child 3 of these. They're going to use them for the colors initially. And so what you want them to do is you want them to spread it out, spread the color out so that they're covering kind of the whole triangle. There's a section, they'll cover it up, and then you can actually give it some texture. And then you'll spread this one out. And you don't want them touching quite yet. You might need a little bit more paint than that, but we'll see. And then you spread this one out. Now you can either put the add-ins in before you start spreading it out, or you can put it in later. I've done it a couple times now, and I think the add-ins probably go in better a little later. So then you'll have a few options. So I will have a big Ziploc bag of rice. You can put on a plate for the kids, you can have a separate plate where each table gets a little bit of rice and a little bit of sand and a little bit, maybe lentils. I'll have some quinoa, some oats, some just random different things. And if you would be willing to bring some yourself and just add them to the wagon, then people can use those as well. So this is quinoa. So you'll put a little bit of quinoa in one of the colors. Then you can put some rice in another one of the colors. Not too much because it takes all of the paint, uses up the paint. And I did have some eggshells, but they took quite a bit of work just to get them cleaned and stuff. But these are eggshells here. And then you'll stir those in. And when you've got those stirred in, you're going to overlap these colors to make secondary colors. The problem is you want to make sure that you overlap them to the right. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to make green out of it. So I'm going to turn my yellow and my blue just in between. I'm going to turn it into green, and you can make it whatever design you want. Then when you've got that one, you're going to make that go in the middle. Then you're going to take the blue one and you're going to make purple here in the middle between the two. You got some good purple in there. It's a dark maroon because there's no white to mix it in. Then you'll take the red one and try not to get the green in it, make the red one and the yellow, mix it into orange. Now that middle section will probably end up turning into brown. but this ends up looking orange. Now, you want to just make sure that they're taking the primary color and moving to the right. If they take one and move to the right and then take the other one and move to the left, you'll end up with blue making the green and the red making the orange, but then you'll have a yellow one. You can't make purple out of it. So you just have to make sure that your that they each use their popsicle sticks efficiently. So anyway, try to keep the green out of that. So then you've got these three, and then the kids can throw these away. When that's all done, then you make the print out of it. So you'll take the piece of cardstock. So I have cardstock in the wagon for them, and then you'll just have them lay it right down on top, and then they'll take it and push it. And that's why these thin flat plates work the best, because they actually lay completely flat when you're all ready to do the print. And when you're all done, you take that, and then you've got a print that has texture to it. And you can see there wasn't a ton of purple in that area. So, but having some white in there is totally fine. And you'll see that you do have texture throughout, and there'll be different textures. So that is the whole point. So when you're all done with this, if you want to, when they're all dry, they do take a while to dry because they have a lot of paint on them. But they aren't as messy as the other projects, because once you're done, you end up throwing these away, and then you can just take these and set them to dry. But you don't have they shouldn't have a giant mess on their desks when this is all over, because these are paint, they keep the paint out, and the cardstock's thick enough that they don't leak through. And then if they want to, they can you can use different templates and cut a leaf out of it for fall or autumn. You can make a turkey out of it. Whatever you guys want to do with your class, you can cut them out and turn them into something. Now the older classes, if you'd like to, you can put their dollop of paint and have them add texture, and then the kids can use their popsicle sticks to try to paint something on their cardstock, like a simple flower or something. If you want them to have the option of being a little bit more creative and painting with it, they can do that, but you'll have to give them a little bit more paint, and they'll need a little bit more time to create something on their cardstock. Otherwise, they'll just be making a print out of it. So that's it.